Patrick Collison, the CEO and co-founder of Stripe, maintains a webpage with a list of people who've accomplished ambitious things very quickly. I'll put a link to it in the comments. On that page, he talks both about physical infrastructure, for example, the Empire State Building going up in just 410 days, the Alaska Highway getting built in 234 days, as well as technology, like Git was built in just 4 days, Amazon Prime 6 weeks, JavaScript 10 days, the first version of Unix 3 weeks. Those are insane numbers for anyone who builds software. One thing we learned from this is that a sense of urgency is a great motivator. For example, Git was created because Linux's prior version control system, BitKeeper, changed its license. So you just sat down and built a system that all of us use today. The other thing we learned is that constraints force creativity. Amazon's had a leadership principle about frugality, which was widely misunderstood. But I really believe in it because you have to be a lot more creative when you have tight deadlines and limited resources, because work expands to fit its space. When I first joined AWS, they gave me 8 people and asked me to go off and disrupt data warehousing and transaction processing. 8 people total. But that really forced me to think about how to accomplish those tasks in a way differently from, just rebuild the same thing that other people did. At a personal level, my first job was in the Oracle kernel, back when that team was 24 people. And when I built Amazon Aurora, it released with about that same staffing. Rebuilding about a quarter of the database, building a new storage system, building control planes for each. I wouldn't have thought it was possible without that first experience. Constraints force creativity. Constraints also force requirement pruning. You're not going to be able to do everything that you want to do, so you have to just do the things that you must do and have that release. It helped me a lot at AWS to have this one date that reInvent was going to happen and where I wanted to hit the launch, because they aren't going to move reInvent just because I'm not done. And it really forces a clear sense of what's most important and what's desirable but can be pushed till later. Here's a fun fact that he mentions on that page. So San Francisco proposed a new bus lane for Van Ness Street in 2001. It finally opened in 2022, a project duration of about 7,600 days. The claim was that it had been delayed due to an increase of wet weather. I know, living in the Bay Area, I don't think that's right. It cost $346 million, or approximately $110,000 per meter. The Alaska Highway, by comparison, cost $793 per meter in 2019 dollars and went for a total of 1,700 miles back in 1942. And was delivered in just 234 days. So I think there's a lot to think about here, a lot for me to think about here on how to build stuff faster. But at the end of the day, this is why startups succeed. It's because we can do things quickly because we must.